What is going on, guys? Niveleth here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something very different than the usual here on my channel. My channel has been solely dedicated to Star Wars Battlefront 2 for over 2 years now, and with the game being ended a couple months ago, it's going to be hard to stay on that topic for much longer. I will still stream it periodically, but I hope to move my channel into a different direction, specifically into the broader video game industry. I will still make videos about Star Wars games, including the upcoming Squadrons game, but my channel and videos will likely revolve around games I personally play and enjoy, rather than just focused on Star Wars. The Rage compilations will still be coming though. I stream almost every day on Twitch, so if you're interested, follow me over there. The link will be in the description. Now let's get to the topic at hand. Keep in mind this video will contain spoilers for The Last of Us 2, so be warned if you haven't played it yet. The Last of Us 2 was one of the most anticipated games of this generation. The amount of hype for this title was unbelievably high. The first game was considered one of the best of the PS3 generation and was likely the best PlayStation 3 exclusive. With The Last of Us 2, fan expectations were extremely high, and for good reason. Naughty Dog is notorious for releasing high-quality games, and that was the plan for this one as well. I just now finished the game on stream a couple days ago, and I wanted to address the insurmountable hate that this game has received from a ton of fans around the world. This video is probably going to get a fair bit of hate because some people are incapable of handling a different opinion than their own, but at least attempt to hear me out and understand what I'm saying before getting too mad. My personal experience with this game was extremely good. I came in with relatively tempered expectations because I was one of the few people who didn't particularly love the first game. I liked it, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't blown away by it like most people were. The hate around The Last of Us 2 has stemmed from leaks that came out prior to the game's release. The leaks about Joel being killed off early into the game by a character that they eventually force you to play as for 10 plus hours made some people extremely mad, and understandably so. Once the game released and the leaks were confirmed to be true, people started lashing out at Naughty Dog, saying the game was terribly written and that the characters from the previous game were not done justice. However, I think that the leaks, without playing the game, the leaks sound really bad, but once you play the game, it makes sense from a storytelling standpoint, and I kind of want to explain why I feel that way. After my experience with this game, I disagree heavily with people's complaints. In a world as brutal as the one in this series, it's entirely possible that anyone and everyone can meet an ugly fate or a terrible death. Everyone in this world is out for themselves, and there are consequences for your actions. The actions that Joel performed in his past came back to bite him, as the character Abby was out for revenge on Joel for killing her father and a bunch of other friends to save Ellie, which also, by the way, caused them to not be able to develop a vaccine for the infection that completely ruined the world. Abby wanting revenge made sense, and it made you realize that no one in this world is invincible. Abby killing Joel sent Ellie into a frenzy where she was now out for revenge as well. This showed that both Ellie and Abby went through similar situations and shared similar feelings. Abby wanted revenge on Joel for killing her father, while Ellie wanted revenge on Abby for killing Joel. It created an instant parallel and a connection between the two characters that could be felt for the rest of the story. Along the way, Ellie does some extremely messed up things in the sake of revenge. She kills countless people, tortures people for information, and throws all of her morals out the window just to get revenge on Abby for killing Joel. She even kills a pregnant woman during her murder spree as well. On the other side, Abby has returned back home after getting her revenge on Joel. She doesn't do anything else afterwards, and even spared Ellie and Tommy's life because she already got what she wanted. Abby was minding her own business when Ellie comes back and ends up killing all of Abby's friends. This shows that both characters are capable of some really messed up stuff, and that neither one should be considered the good guy or the bad guy in this story. Once the game puts you in control of Abby, the story is written in a way that makes you sympathetic towards her and helps you understand why she wanted revenge on Joel. Her motivations are completely justified, and they make sense in every aspect. It shows that Abby isn't a monster. She helps multiple characters and shows her relationships with all of her friends, who eventually all get killed by Ellie. The way it's written is supposed to make you be on both characters' sides in the story. Abby has shown that she is capable of compassion and that she does multiple things in this story that shows that she is not a terrible person. Obviously, the player will start out hating Abby for killing Joel, but eventually it makes the player realize that her intentions and motivations are not all that different from Ellie's. Of course, Ellie's motivation for revenge is also justified. After all she and Joel went through, it's obvious that she would want revenge on Abby for killing him. This causes the game to have so much emotional tension because both characters are technically right for their actions. Many people complained about the Abby section of the game where you control Abby for over 10 hours, but I personally felt that the second half of her part was the best part of the entire game. The entire section of being on the Seraphite Island and the escape from the island was the most exciting and fun gameplay I've had in a video game in a long time. This portion also showed that Abby was willing to turn against her old allies to help the people that she's grown attached to in the last few hours of the game. It was absolutely ingenious and was honestly some of the most fun I've had in a game in a while. At the point where both Ellie and Abby's story collides is when the game's writing shine the most. Abby finds Ellie holed up in the theater that she's been staying in for a while with Jesse, Tommy, and Dina. After playing over 10 hours with both characters, the tension is extremely high and the player should feel sympathy and should want both characters to come out unscathed. Abby wants to kill Ellie because Ellie killed everyone she loved, and Ellie wants to kill Abby because Abby killed Joel and now Jesse. So both characters have a right to want to kill the other, but since you understand both of their sides, it causes an extremely tense and dramatic moment once they finally run into each other again. The game then makes you fight Ellie while playing as Abby, which is also ingenious game design in my opinion. Making you fight the beloved protagonist from the previous game as a character that you've grown to understand and sympathize with over the last 10 hours is some really impressive stuff. Once you beat Ellie in the boss battle, a cutscene plays where Abby completely beats Ellie to a pulp. Then Dina, who is the love interest of Ellie and is also currently pregnant at this point, rushes in to save Ellie. Abby overtakes her easily and starts beating her up too. Then she knocks her out, and right as she's about to slit her throat in front of Ellie, Ellie tells her that Dina is pregnant. As Abby's about to kill her, she has a change of heart and decides to spare Ellie and Dina once again. This is now the second time that Ellie has been spared by Abby when Abby did not have to do that. Despite the fact that Ellie killed all of Abby's friends, Abby showed mercy on her and let her live. This was the ultimate showing that Abby is not as bad as everyone is saying she is. The final complaint that I've heard from most players was the ending of the game. After being spared by Abby, Ellie and Dina went to live at a farmhouse to raise Dina's baby. After about a year passed in-game, and it appeared the two were happy and content, Tommy comes and informs Ellie that Abby has been spotted in California and that Ellie can finally get revenge for Joel. Despite being content and happy with Dina at their farmhouse, Ellie decides to finish what she started and go after Abby again. Abby had been captured by some slave traders in the area, so Ellie has to infiltrate their base to break Abby out and kill her herself. Once you go through all that, you finally get to Abby, who is with one of the characters that she spent the last year or so with, named Lev. The relationship between Abby and Lev is another great part of the game that I've not even touched on, and it honestly reminds me of the relationship between Joel and Ellie. That is yet another connection and parallel between Abby and Ellie as characters. But anyways, Ellie finally finds Abby and Lev and wants to kill Abby, obviously. A massive and dramatic fight breaks out between the two, which Ellie eventually wins. She has Abby underwater, drowning her, and right as Abby is about to die, Ellie has a mental vision of Joel playing his guitar, and Ellie eventually lets go and allows Abby to live and leave with Lev. This act of mercy by Ellie mirrors what Abby did earlier in the game when she let Ellie and Dina live. Despite everything both of those characters went through, Ellie realized that they were more alike than it seemed and that they both have gone through the same types of trauma. That unknown connection became obvious to Ellie right as she was about to kill Abby, and it caused her to show that mercy. I think it made a ton of sense in the grand scheme of things, especially after everything that both of them had experienced. All in all, I was absolutely blown away by this game. The storytelling, the character development, the gameplay, the graphics, everything. It exceeded my personal expectations, and it's sad to see so many people missing the point. I think that they did bold things with this game and that it was executed perfectly. It showed that in reality, no one is the hero. Everyone does whatever they can to survive, and when it really boils down to it, people are capable of doing the right thing even in extreme circumstances. I personally can see what Neil Druckmann and the Naughty Dog team was trying to accomplish here, and I think that they executed it perfectly. This game was everything you could want in a sequel, and I would love to see a part 3 sometime in the future. Again, I know this video is likely going to rub some people the wrong way and get a fair bit of hate, but I just wanted to share my thoughts and experience with this game and title. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next stream or video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch for more streams. Peace. Wow. Wow, bro. Holy shit. What a journey.